So, who has read the Real Estate Bible? If you haven't read it, how come? If you knew there was something out there that you could grab that was free to you, can stop by my office, I'll give you a book, and that in your core, in your soul, you knew it would help you, would you stop by my office and pick one up? Come on up here, team. No, we're huddled, we're tight, we're snuggled in. I only call on people in the back of the room. Hey, Siobhan, come on up, snuggle up here with us. So if you haven't read this and you don't have one, please stop by my office and pick one up, okay? If you have it and you haven't read it, get your ass to work, okay? It's double chapters with pictures. It was written for us, okay? Okay, so to prove the point, I'm going to read to you today, okay? So just relax. This will be easy, okay? Yeah. When was the last time you were read to? Was it like elementary school? Uh-huh. Okay. Well, good. Easy session today. I'm reading from chapter 26, okay? How do you generate business? Appropriate conversation? How do you generate a continuous flow of customers coming to you? How do we do that? Is this one of our challenges? The key to solving this challenge and turning it into an opportunity comes with your awareness that there are two parts to the sales business. So there's that two thing again. Part one, doing the business. Most realtors are pretty good at doing the business. If you give them a buyer, they know how to show a property and write a contract. If you're newer to the business, that may still be a challenge, but most of us have been around more than a couple of months, have kind of gotten this down. If you give them a buyer, they know how to show a property and write a contract. Teams, okay, I'm going to give you an internet buyer lead. Now, see what you can do with it. Give them a seller, and they'll show up and list their home. Part two, generating the business. Generating the business is the area where most realtors are weak. The skill is what separates ninjas and star salespeople from the rest. Generating business is simply a matter of focus and daily habits. I have that triple underlined and highlighted. Simply a matter of focus and daily habits. Follow the Ninja daily routine and you'll have a continuous flow of business coming to you. Absolutely true. There would be no reason for me to read that to you if it wasn't true. I know it's true. So many of us are wondering, just give me the formula, right? Just give me the formula. I'll do the formula. Okay. Here it is. You're going to be given the formula. Let's see if you'll do it. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. And this is written by Larry Kendall, Ninja Selling, so he calls it the Ninja Daily Routine. Some of this is going to sound a tad familiar to you, and you're not going to like it. I don't care. You know it's true. I mean, this is like a test for me. Do I not like it? Yeah, I don't like it. Then it's probably true, right? So Tom. So this is like a faith-based thing, okay, for a second, okay? So I'm an Old Testament guy, okay? So Zoe's had to endure this routine before. I like the Old Testament much better than the New Testament. You know why? Because in the Old Testament, there's 10 rules. Do or don't do these 10 things, and you won't need fire insurance, okay? I can follow 10 rules. Don't do this, okay? I won't do that. Don't lie, cheat, steal, sleep with your neighbor's wife, all that kind of stuff. You know what? I will leave my neighbor's wife alone, Tom, okay?
Good deal.
Good deal. You know what the problem with the New Testament is? There's only 2 rules. There's only 2. I liked it better when there were 10. Tom, what are the 2 rules in the New Testament?
Well,
Zoe's going to need some counseling.
It comes from the Old Testament Shema that Jesus actually quoted when the lawyer says, what must I do? He says, these are the 2 rules. Love God with all your heart, mind, and strength.
Good. Check. Got it. And?
One is the knee breaker.
And what's that?
Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
You know that don't be a glutton? I can get a better rule from you. You mean the guy that just cut me off in traffic and gave me the finger? You mean Tara, who's been driving around Atlanta giving people the finger all weekend?
You too.
I have to love her? I do?
Yep.
See, I like the 10 rules better. Ninja's going to give you some rules. You're not going to like them. And a little bit I'm preaching to the choir here today. Rule number 1, show up for work. Show up for work. Come to work in the morning dressed and prepared to make money. When I walk into the office between 8 and 9, the top selling ninjas are already there. Absolutely true. Our top 10 are here before 9. Everybody outside the top 10, mostly they come struggling in after 9 when they got all their personal stuff done when they felt like it. The top selling ninjas are already there, ready for showtime. Struggling salespeople tend not to show up late in the day, or show up in their sweatpants to hang out in the office with their friends. It's a social club. Folks, I've been doing this 32 years. There's not a truer statement ever. The biggest difference between people that sell and make good money in this business and the others is the people that sell and make good money in this business, they show up to work every day. Number 2, work on your business in the morning, work in your business in the afternoon. So what's he mean by that? Research shows that most property showings occur in the afternoon. There are exceptions, not all, but there are exceptions, but overwhelmingly it seems buyers prefer to look at homes in the afternoon. Similarly, most listings are taken either in the afternoon or the evening. There is an occasional buyer or seller that wants to meet in the morning, but not usually. Overwhelmingly, it's in the afternoon. It just seems that the natural flow of the marketplace is for the afternoon to be the time to list and sell real estate, to be working in your business. That leaves the mornings to work on your business. That is, to generate business and run your flow systems. We're going to talk about flow systems in a minute. This is the part of the business most realtors leave out, and is one of the key reasons why they don't show up for work in the morning. They don't think they have anything to do. Running your flow systems is, I've got this highlighted and triple underlined. Running your flow systems is the most important activity you can do. End of sentence. Running your flow systems is the most important activities. Realtors who don't run their flow systems tend not. If I could cut out one paragraph out of the whole book and give it to you as a gift, this is the paragraph that I would give you. Realtors who don't run their flow systems tend not to have enough business and develop a scarcity mindset. Or, said another way, they will work with anybody, even pretend customers, those who are not really serious about buying or selling real estate. The result is a waste of time. That is the most true thing anybody's ever going to say to you in this whole business. Realtors who don't run their flow systems tend not to have enough business and develop a scarcity mindset. Oh yeah, I call them above the line people. They only care about the cost of everything. Everything. I mean, gosh, Jeff, if I charged you $1 for that cup of coffee, you would just freak out. You'd leave. They care about the cost. They care about commission splits and fees and the cost of gas. They care about everything. Why? They have a total scarcity mindset. All they care about is the cost of stuff. Why? They don't make any money. Why? They aren't working their systems every morning. Why? They don't show up for work. That's why. And then they get into this scarcity mindset, and they're just running around trying to save every dime they can instead of focusing on what really matters, what will lead them out of this. The result's a waste of time. So what are flow systems? Like, you ever wonder like that? Like, what the hell is he talking about, flow systems? The whole book is built off of this theory that you have to be in the flow with your customers. You have to be connected. You have to be engaged. You have to be participating with them. Okay? Who in the room's had a birthday in the last year and gotten a birthday card from me? Okay? The rest of you, hopefully you haven't had a birthday yet. I hate the thought that I missed somebody. That's an example of being in the flow with you. If you have a work anniversary with us, it's going to get acknowledged. Huh? You got a card from?
No.
You haven't been here long enough.
I thought you wanted a card from somebody.
This is called being in the flow with you. Does it change your life? It doesn't change your life. It just keeps me connected with you. Are you doing that with your customers? Are you, with your peeps, with all the people that you think are your prospects, your buyers, your sellers, your past clients, your sphere of influence, are you in the flow with them? Are you staying connected with them? Are you staying top of mind? Are you using the events in their lives to engage with them? So Greg does a good job of this. So Greg, what do you get from Greg every Friday?
Friday's finest.
So you even know what he calls it. Right?
On Thursday is faster.
Did it?
What's that?
She said it came out Thursday this past week.
Well, no, that was a private one.
Oh.
Actually, Fridays didn't go out, and Rusty sent me a note Friday afternoon and said, Greg, where is my Friday's inspiration?
Okay, so I want you to see something right there. There's Greg, a mortgage guy, right? There's a few of them in Atlanta, right? And Tara's saying, I got something on Thursday and I shouldn't have gotten it until Friday, and somebody else is telling him, hey, it's Friday afternoon and I haven't gotten it yet. Where's it at? You might feel like nobody's paying attention. You might feel like nobody's paying attention. They are. Oh, I got this early. What's up with that? Greg must be playing golf Friday or something. And another agent is saying, hey, Greg, where's mine? But what about like me? I didn't engage with you in that because mine showed up on Friday like it always does. But I still know it. I recognize it. I may or may not read it. I don't think it's really the point. It's Greg staying in the flow with me. What Larry's going to do in his book, Ninja Selling, is he's going to take you through how to stay in the flow with people, which is everything. Unless you just want to get on the phone and pound out cold calls for hours every day. If you want to do that, then I guess, well, you know what? You'd have to be in the flow with them too, wouldn't you? Because, let's see, David, you make calls every day. Is that fair? Last week, if you had to ballpark, how many calls would you say outbound dials would you have made?
Dials?
Uh-huh.
I mean, hundreds.
Put a number on it. Did you do it 5 days last week?
Did it 5 days, 400 or 500 actual dials.
Okay, so 500 dials. Okay. And how many people on the first call said, as a matter of fact, I am ready to list my house. When can you come over? How many appointments did you set on the first call?
Maybe 2.
Did you really? And out of those 2, how many listings did you take?
Follow up.
Oh, you didn't take any listings.
Didn't get 'em.
So you made 500 outbound dials and took no listings last week off of it. Anybody want to sign up for that program? Right. So now what do you have to do?
A lot of follow up.
which Larry would call flow. Okay, getting in the flow with people, getting connected to them. How do you do that? You do that. Well, how will you do that?
I'll drop a note in the mail. Say it's nice to meet them. Send them an email, text, and then I have it scheduled every week to do something as far as follow-up. See how it's going. If I didn't get it, why didn't I get it? I always ask them, if you don't mind me telling me why I'm going to develop myself as a professional. Or if they have not listened again, then follow up.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Give me one way in the mail. Andy has to send them an email. Andy has to follow up with them by phone. Andy has to stop by when they're geographically oriented that way. And he has to go find them on social media and connect with them. And he has to be a robust poster of relevant content. David, that's what you have to do this week for all 500 dials.
Well, the people that I connect with, those 500 dials was attempts, but I have so many contacts.
So how many listings did you take last week?
1,
Okay. You want to take more this week?
of course.
Okay. Then don't do it with the people that you speak to. Do it with everybody. Would you take more listings? So let's do this for 5 minutes, okay? And then we're going to stop. You want to have some fun? So let's make fun of our industry, not us. Nobody in this room, okay? So the average real estate agent in Atlanta, we have a guest in the back of the room. Welcome. You're about to get shocked. The average real estate agent in Atlanta starts their day what time? 9? 10? Okay, so I'm going to ask you 9, 10, or 11. Just raise your hand when you think who thinks it's the average agent in Atlanta starts at 9 a.m.? Who thinks they start at 10? Who thinks they start at 11? Okay, it's 10. It's 10 and then 11 and then 9. 10 a.m. Well, then you got lunch. Well, you got to go over to Brookwood Grill for lunch. So that's like 11:45, right? Lunch. And if you go to lunch with Camille, you can have a glass of wine at lunch, and you can take 2 hours, okay? So you're back from lunch at 1. What time, I don't have kids, what time do the kids get off the school bus?
37. Yeah.
Okay, who thinks it's, I'm going to ask you 2, 3, or 4. Who thinks that the kids get off the school bus at 2? Who thinks they get off at 3? Who thinks they get off at 4?
4:30.
Okay, so 3 it is. Okay, so look, I got to be home by 3. Okay, I've got to be home. I can't be leaving for home by then. I've got to be home by 3. I'm gonna work from home. That's what I say. Yeah, right. I bet you are. Right. Okay, so I got this space right here. Right? So from 10 to 11:45, I got some time for work there. And then, if I didn't eat too much or have that second glass of wine with Camille, I've got time here. Well, if you add those together, that equals 3.5 hours. Jay, you've been in business a long time. Unduly harsh and unfair or accurate?
Oh, sorry.
Accurate. Carl?
Dead on. Probably too generous.
Yeah, because that assumes that I don't walk around anybody's desk and have a chat, right? Or say I'm working, I'll go talk to Greg, right? I'll go, because Greg's a nice guy. He's very easy to talk to. Stop by and chat with him. He'll talk to you. That's his job, right? He's selling, you're goofing off. 3.5 hours. So David, under 3.5 hours, how much of that are you going to get done?
In 3.5 hours?
Uh-huh.
A lot of my calls done in 3.5 hours.
Okay? Oh, you're not going to get any of the other stuff, the flow. Then you're just wasting.
I mean, it's,
Then you're just wasting your time. Because if you think you're just going to make calls for 3 hours a day, first of all, nobody in this room is making 3 hours worth of calls a day. And the next agent that tells you, that, oh, I prospect for 3 hours every day. Lying dog. Lying dog.
He does.
Maybe.
I place that down.
Maybe.
He's the only agent I know that does.
Maybe. I call bullshit on people that say they prospect for 2 or 3 hours a day. Okay. Well, that's why he has the bling around his neck. David, what time do you show up in the morning?
usually 7.
7. That's because you don't have kids or a spouse, right?
2 kids and a spouse.
And then what?
On the phones by 8 with Carl. We're in here for 2 hours straight from 8 to 10 a.m.
Okay. And then what?
10 a.m. I do some admin work.
I call that office work, OW. And then what?
I try to get back on the phone for an hour doing either follow-up calls. So back on the phones till noon or a huddle.
Our huddle. Thanks for throwing that in. Okay. And then what?
High education for the industry, my huddles.
So let's just stop there, okay? Because Zoe's giving me hand signals. What Larry says in his book is that David's working in his business in these times, right? When are you going to go on your listing appointments?
In the afternoons.
In the afternoons. Well, what if they want to meet in the morning? Gosh, Tina, I have an appointment tomorrow morning, but would something around 1 or maybe later in the day at 4 work better for you?
Anything works for me.
Anything works for you. Okay, good. Most people aren't that easy, okay? But you can try. Larry says in his book, there'll be exceptions. They'll be rare. But if you tell people, gosh, I have an appointment at 10 o'clock tomorrow, could we do it at 1 or something later at 4 work better? Most people will accommodate that.
People accommodate that.
There will be instances where they don't, and that's called an exception, and we have to deal with exceptions, but most of the time it won't. If we want to, work in your business in the mornings, work on your business in the afternoons. Or the way you've heard me say it is, get your activities done in the morning and do your appointments in the afternoon. And if you will get your activities done in the mornings, you will have appointments in the afternoon. And then I want to just finish this morning by reading you again the most important paragraph in your career. Realtors who don't run their flow systems tend not to have enough business and develop a scarcity mindset. You know what that means? You sit around worrying about how you're going to afford to pay for things. You've got a scarcity mindset. You're worried about running out of things. And what Larry and what I'm going to say to you is, no, we want you to have a mentality of abundance. How do you do that? Realtors who don't run their flow systems tend not to have enough business and develop a scarcity mindset. Or they work with anybody, even pretend customers. You know what I'm talking about. These people aren't going to buy anything. You know they're not going to buy anything, but to not have them means to admit that I don't have any business at all. So they might. Those who are not really serious about buying or selling real estate, the pretend customers. The result's just a big waste of time. And we make no money, and we end up bankrupting out of this business. So what do? We get in the flow with your peeps. Who are your peeps? If you don't know who that is, you need to come sit in my office, and we need to figure that out now. You've got to. David knows who his peeps are. Now he knows what he has to do every day to be in the flow with them. Now his choice is he willing to do that or is he not willing to do that? That's all of our choices. And you might say, I'm not willing to do it. And it's like, okay, everybody wasn't born to do this. This is not easy. If you're new to this business and you got in because you thought it was easy, newsflash, you, for some crazy reason, picked one of the hardest things you could ever pick on the planet to do. Hard work. Look, like, that's why the average agent has this schedule. Because this is what I got in the business for. That's exactly what I was looking for. You know, I'm not a morning person. I do better at night. I have my best moments are at like midnight. Right. That's how much crap that is, that when you say it out loud, people actually chuckle about it like, you keep saying that to yourself, okay? And then because I'm a night person, I come in later. And by the time I come in, well, it's lunchtime. You want to go over to Brookwood? Yeah, we'll spend a couple hours over Brookwood. All right, it fills up the day, baby. It fills up the day. I feel so... Did you ever see, remember the Eddie Murphy movie? No, the one where he was a cop in Detroit. Beverly Hills Cop. Do you remember the beginning of that movie where he's got all his cigarettes in a truck and he goes, I'm a businessman, man, I got deals popping here and there. That's us. Every time I see that movie, I think, that is every real estate agent I know. I'm like, I got deals popping, baby. You got shit. I come in, we got, Greg, you want to go over to Brookwood for lunch? Yeah, we have a drink. We'll have a drink. Camille will buy us a glass of wine, and we'll chit chat, right? Because it's a relationship business. Yeah, not with other real estate agents. Who has ever seen me at lunch at Brookwood? How many times?
Oh God, maybe once, twice.
Because that would be the most number of times I've been there. Why? I haven't got time for that shit, and you don't either. You don't either. You don't have time to go over there. What's the bartender over there? What's his name? Carl's smarter than everybody else. He knows the guy's name and won't say it. I wait for Carl to tell me. When you know the bartender's name at the restaurant next to your office, you are practicing crap. And that's why you're not making any money. You got time for that? You got a lot of stuff, David. You got a lot of stuff to get done today if you want to keep that bling on, right? You got no time for that and to have a glass of wine with Camille over there, right? We got a lot of stuff to get done today. Let's go do it. Ready?